There isn't really a lot left you can say about Michael Mann's 1986 crime thriller Manhunter that hasn't already been said. Today the film is really well documented. There's interviews online with Mann talking about the movie. The cinematographer Dante Spinotti has talked about his techniques he used while making the film. But I wanted to make this short movie about the emotional impact that Manhunter has had on me and my relationship with the film over the years. Today it kinda goes without saying that Manhunter is a seminal work. Not only because it's an early work from a master of cinema that showcases his immense talent, but also because in today's streaming services and true crime dramas and documentaries, you can really see the impact that Manhunter has had on modern day filmmakers. There are moments in Manhunter that make my hair stand up on end. Scenes that have a real emotional weight to them and have an impact on me when I watch them. And there aren't many movies that can do that. The control that Mann has over the images. The soundtrack and score that's designed and developed to give an emotional impact blows me away every time I watch it. There are scenes where we seem to see Dalahyde's dreams on the screen, and these are really powerful moments of cinema. It's a film that uses great cinematic techniques to give an emotional impact to scenes that you don't see in movies anymore. This film really has Michael Mann's stamp on it. It's a film about dreams. This seems to be something that Mann's gone back to quite a lot. In Michael Mann's The Keep, he kind of looked at the narrative of dreams and created a film that had a dream narrative very successfully, I think. In Heat, the main character of McCulley dreams of going to Fiji and escaping his life. In Thief, James Caan's character just wants to get away. He's got a dream of a life that he just can't have. And I think this is something that Mann comes back to a lot. He seems to write characters that are led by their dreams, that are trying to achieve something. And that's what I feel Manhunter is about. It's about the physical manifestation and realization of our dreams. Will Petersen plays the protagonist in Manhunter, Will Graham. And Will Graham is lost in his own dreams. Not just his own dreams, but he's plagued by the dreams of the psychotic killer, Tom Noonan, playing Francis Dalahyde, who he's trying to stop in the movie. It's his relentless journey to try and stop this killer, but in the process he's losing himself. It's a fantastic character study. Petersen gives a magnetic performance, and when you look into Petersen's eyes in his performance in Manhunter, I feel like you're looking into the eyes of Will Graham. Petersen is actually feeling this character's thoughts and feelings, and you can really see that. It's the same with Noonan playing the killer. His performance is great. You actually feel and see the emotions of the killer. At once he gets what he wants and it's kind of ripped away from him when he finds love, but then his nightmares and his dreams get in the way. And I think Mann was going for this with Manhunter. He was trying to show us the manifestation of dreams on the cinema screen. And what is cinema if it's not the manifestation or realization of thoughts and feelings into a physicality onto the screen? I saw Manhunter just at the right time, when I was beginning to ask myself questions like, why do I love cinema so much? Why am I inside watching movies while everybody else is outside playing football? And I've really got to thank Manhunter for kind of telling me why I love movies so much. It was the culmination of everything that I loved about cinema at that point. The music was kick-ass, the visuals were beautiful, the acting was fantastic. And it really taught me that you can realize dreams up there on the screen. Now, Manhunter was a low-budget film, even for the time that it was made. But Mann had the guts and determination to get it made, and I really think it is a work of art. Now, talking to other film fans about Manhunter, People have often said, oh, well, you really love Manhunter? Kind of looks like an 80s music video. I never got that from it, and I can't see how people see that. Maybe because it's got a very 80s soundtrack. But I don't really see it as an 80s soundtrack. I just see it as music that's used to accentuate what we're seeing on screen. It really does give the movie an emotional punch. But I guess I watch Manhunter the same way that I would listen to a classical piece of music by Bach, or listen to a Bob Dylan music. I don't really see these artists as coming from any time. I see them as timeless. And I really see Manhunter as a timeless movie that is much more than the decade it was made or the sum of its parts. I just think it's a fantastic movie in general. The films Mann makes are psychological stories about the maze of the mind, and the maze of the city at night and its nocturnal inhabitants. He tells stories about master craftsmen who meticulously plan their lives and try to control every aspect of it. He tells stories of career criminals, but also the policemen and policewomen who give their lives to defend society from these terrible people. And that's what's great about Manhunter. It goes really deep into the psyche of a guy who has given up his own life in order to protect other people. Now, Will Graham has kind of given up his dreams. That's the one thing that we all have that's ours. And in the film, he's plagued by the dreams of the killer, but also tortured by his own past. It's such a deep, dark, psychological character study. And that lends itself to the view of the movie too. The cinematography, what we see on screen, is dark, it's elusive, it's filled in shadow, it's all very suggestive, it's all dreamlike imagery, and it's so beautiful. Mann manages to weave this dreamlike imagery into a movie that tells a constructive arc, it tells a great narrative, but it's also a dream piece of theatre. And I think that's really fantastic how he managed to get both things spot on. He manages to tell us a very cohesive story, but also shows us this beautiful dreamlike logic. He's using expressionist cinema in a really artful and Hollywood way, and he's telling us a great story, and that's what all great filmmakers do. Over the years, after repeated viewings of Manhunter, I've found that I can now kind of say that what I love about it is that emotional punch. I think it's a movie that tries to span the whole emotional experience. To come back to music, it's like when you listen to a beautiful song and you just get that punch and you don't know why you're feeling when you listen to it. It doesn't have to be happiness, doesn't have to be sadness, it just has to be a feeling. And that's what Manhunter does. It captures feelings and emotion beautifully and artistically on screen using expressionist technique. Michael Mann really is a master of cinema. In this, an early work from 1986, he proved to us that he was going to stick around and that he had a very authoritative directorial stamp on all of his work. And I think this is what makes Mann a director that deserves the moniker of an auteur, because you can really tell that it's his work. An auteur is not a theory I subscribe to very easily. And you can see it right through from The Jericho Mile to Public Enemies. All of his work, it's there. Mann's behind the camera. So I guess I can say that my love for Manhunter comes from the fact that I feel it spans the whole emotional experience. It really is a work of art. It's a culmination of everything that I love about cinema. And that's why I love Manhunter. It taught me what I loved about cinema. It made me realize how to use impactful images with impactful music, with impactful editing. It's a masterful technical work, but it's also a beautiful piece of dream logic. It's a magnificent film. I saw Manhunter just at the right time to help me realize that you can realize your dreams and you can see them up there on the screen. So for that, I thank the makers of the film Manhunter, and I thank everyone for listening. Thanks very much.